Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Or Storm here with another opening for you guys today. I thought this would be a perfect time for we're doing our Master Pendulum Structure Deck week to, of course, open a copy of the Master Pendulum Structure Deck. So I was at Walgreens this afternoon, just browsing, and then I noticed that they had these structure decks on sale for like $8 a piece, which they go for about 10 typically, like most structure decks. So, it's kind of interesting. So I went ahead and picked up a few. Figured it would probably be a good idea because, eventually I'm going to be building this deck anyways. So, alright, so you get a, kind of a little mat, paper mat. I actually do a lot of these paper mat designs, if they came in, but I understand why we get paper mats, because rubber mats just would cost Konami a ridiculous amount of money, and you get a beginner guide. But let's get to the cards, which you guys care about. And surprisingly, I think the structure deck was supposed to come out on Friday, but apparently a lot of places are actually stocking it early. I think my friend, some of my Twitch mods and stuff were chatting in the APS admin chat. We were saying that a lot of places are stocking it already, which is not. So first card we're going to talk about, we have here's Otter's Meteor Burst Dragon. It's a little interesting card. So this is one of their new level 7 Synchro monsters. So its first effect is when it's special summoned, it brings a monster out of your Pendulum Zone. So you can special summon this, then bring out your Dragon Pit Magician or whatever, and overlay for Absolute Dragon. And the other effect is, during the battle phase, your monsters your opponents control cannot activate their effects. So it's sort of like an Armades, but better because it's only for your opponent. And so, if you summon this and, your opponent has Swift Scarecrow, they can't chain Swift Scarecrow because this thing is out. And there's a lot of things that, it doesn't seem like much, but, I think it could be a decent generic Synchro monster. And then we have, of course, Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. This card is a generic level 7, which is just nutty. So, but, it's sort of like a Utopia, but when it negates the attack, can negate either player's attack, just like Utopia. It's any player's mon, so you can detach and then special summon an Odd Eyes monster. So typically, one of my favorite combos when I have a Meteor Burst underneath my Absolute is to special this back and then bring out my Oath Dragon. And just, there's so many combos of this card, these two cards, work so well together. So, and then we have a Noble Dragon Magician. It was kind of an odd choice for the super rare, but it is a new Pendulum tuner monster. It special summons from graveyard or hand, I believe, by lowering an Odd Eyes monster by down to 4. So you can pitch this for one of your magicians, like your Dragon Pit Magician, and then special it right back. Then we have Oath Dragon Magician for our second super rare. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Being able to cycle back your Insight Magician and keep comboing off is just so good. And then we have, of course, the card everyone's for Wisdom Eye Magician. This card is it's basically like a Lone Fire Blossom for Pendulums, because if you control Performant Pal or Magician monster Pendulum Zone, you can destroy this card, then set any Magician monster from your deck into the Pendulum Zone, which is just nutty. And then we have, of course, the Brothers Dragon, both the Vanillas, Dragon Pulse and Dragon Pit. Dragon Pulse is a scale of 1, it pops monsters, and it's a vanilla, and then Dragon Pit is a scale of 8 and pops spells. Of course, the other card everyone's going to be looking for, Skullcrow Bat Joker. It is a common, but nevertheless, this card is just nutty. It's going to be nutty when we get Pepe in a few months, which I'm going to have a discussion video on that deck next week. And of course, the original two Magicians, Stargazer and Time Gazer, we got to have those two guys. Of course, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. I believe this might be the first time it's coming common. I'm not sure. I think it came as a star foil but nice to reprint that card, even though it's not that expensive really anymore. Then Silver Claw, I think this card just came out, but it's not a bad card in a pure Perform Pal deck, or even this deck. I have some builds that run it. More about Tiger, and then Trump Witch. I might actually be playing this card in my builds, and it's Odd Eyes Fusion, so damn expensive. Metaphys Arm Dragon, kind of a weird card, but it's a level 7. I guess it combos with the deck. And another nice reprint, Chaos Hunter. A lot of people were side decking this against Infernoids, and it's not awful against Cosmos if you chain this to their E-Tally. It's also a level, it's a level 7, so it actually doesn't work with the deck. Some other weird stuff like Fusel or Dragon the Beast. I've never read this card, really. Another Lila reprint for some reason, the billionth time Lila's coming common. We have a Fencing Fire Ferret, weird card, and then we have the The Charmer cards, and alright, they're all pretty much the same, except for their typing, and you can only control one. You can special summon it when you control a spellcaster. These two are actually see play in some Mages and Palos stuff running. Gigabyte in particular, because you can detach Trick Clown with King of the Feral Limps, and then search this, and special Trick Clown, special this, and make another rank 4. It's just obnoxious, and this can blow up your Pendulum monsters to get itself back. So, interesting cards. Goblinberg, card is another Goblinberg reprint. You know, we could have that card in Hollow at this point, and some random tuners, Arabellum, Magna Dragon, and Recover, some random tuner monsters. And then we're getting, that's all the monster spells. Skyr, this is a very interesting card. First it prevents your Magician mons from being targeted by card effects. So like with this out, your opponent they can't MST this. They have to MST this before they hit your Pendulum zone. If you have this out, they also can't Kistel or whatever your Pendulum zone, so it's pretty nice. And the other card that's just nutty is Pendulum Call. I still feel this card is absolutely just nutty. The fact you discard and just draw 2 and keep your Pendulum zones from being blown up for a turn is just dumb. Then we got Pendulum Shift, Pendulum Rising, and those are the last couple Pendulum cards, I think, for the spells. And we have some reprints. We have Sacred Swords, a nice reprint. I think it's only come in one super. We have Summoner's Art, pretty nice reprint. Believe it's this first time it's come in common. I need this card for my Ignites, so definitely got to set that aside. MST, it's a structure deck, gotta have spaces, and then like weird Scapegoat and Forbidden Dress, weird reprints. Last two spells are, bought my camera. 2 spells are probably in Terraforming. There are the traps. Pendulum Back. I've actually tested this card, and it's not awful. Like, and it's like the variant where you're playing it like with just the structure deck cards. Power for Birth, kind of nice reprint. Don't really find it necessary. Trap Trick Trouble Nightmare, not a bad reprint. I mean, me myself already own like 2 or 3 of them. So, and then Torrential and Eradicator for your one-ofs. Eradicator's starting to see more play now for a lot of reasons, and then Torrential Tribute's just a staple card. And then last, you got your Runized Pendulum Dragon. I believe I already had one of these, but now I have another one. So, in summary, I think this is a pretty solid structure deck. Like, if you're just building it with the cards in the structure deck, like, the biggest problem, and I'm going to have a deck profile tomorrow that has just the structure deck cards. The biggest problem I noticed was that the deck's pretty consistent, but it has a lot of trouble dealing with monsters that have destruction resistance to being removed by destruction. The deck doesn't has a lot of trouble getting over beefy monsters. So I would say if you're going to build this deck like straight from the structure deck, it's not bad, but you're probably going to need like outside archetype support cards such as Kistel 101, like all your rank 4 staples might not be a bad idea, along of course with Yugioh's Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon. It's a pretty solid structure deck. I think it's definitely worth your money. So anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video today. I really appreciate it when you guys watch my videos. Tune in on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you like what you saw from this video, please subscribe. Orstorm, signing out.